Thanks for being here. It's Tuesday, the 29th day of October. We are so glad to have you with us this evening. I want to say more about quality than quantity tonight in regards to the number of our top headlines. A story that we've known was going to be in the making for a couple of weeks now, but much more information available today, and much more to come on the story about a Sagersville man returning home after his body has finally and officially been identified almost 70 years after he was killed in the Korean War. It's the start of a truly amazing story, and look back at the history of this young man's life and how he is just now returning home, how it all came to be, who is left of his family. A few other things we'll start tonight to cover, but much more to come, and I'll elaborate on that in just a few moments as well. We have, of course, weather, some other news and announcements, and a whole lot of things to talk about. Weather-wise, the cold front we've been looking at, not forward to, but at, is making its way, of course, into the viewing area and the mountains of eastern Kentucky tomorrow. And right now, there is the possibility of an inch and a half tomorrow and an inch and a half of rain on your Thursday as well. And definitely some winds to have to deal with on your Thursday, upwards of 30-mile-per-hour gusts at times. I don't think we'll see the full 3 inches as of right now, but definitely some moderate to heavy rainfall at times, and it all starts tomorrow. I'll give you that timetable in just a few moments and the latest on your Licking Valley RECC outlook. And of course, most importantly, during your weather, I'll remind you that indeed it is the time of the year daylight saving time comes to an end technically right around 2 o'clock this Sunday morning. So clocks will fall back an hour. You get an extra hour of sleep, but if you're like myself, you'll be getting done from work in the dark. That's just the way it is. Not a fan. But it's also, more importantly, a time to remind everyone to check those smoke detectors and make sure those batteries are good. More on that for the next couple of nights until the weekend. A couple of things before we get to our top story this evening and spend some time there. Some more good news coming for Eastern Kentucky. Another announcement for Floyd County. Of course, we spoke about just recently the Otter Creek Correctional Facility to be opening up and promising 200 jobs. Now, we understand that Floyd County Judge Executive Robbie Williams had the pleasure of announcing another major job opportunity. Teleworks says they're bringing up to 300 jobs to the Floyd County and surrounding area as well, paying a minimum of $12 an hour after a trial period. A job fair is going to be held in the Floyd County Fiscal Courtroom November the 13th. If you have any questions, 886-9193. But Teleworks is also a company that we've spoke of here on a couple of occasions on your news today and the Sagersville Independent as they were holding job fairs here in Sagersville and McGoffin County. But they are going to be bringing, they say, 300 jobs to Floyd County once again. Well, this is something that the sports world has been talking about, the collegiate sports world at least, for quite some time. And it appears to be getting closer to becoming a different situation. The NCAA Board of Governors, says the Associated Press this afternoon, has taken the first step toward allowing athletes to make money on their name and fame. The board voted unanimously earlier today to clear the way for amateur athletes to benefit from the use of their name, image, and likeness. The vote came during a meeting at Emory University in Atlanta. There is an official news release that board chairman Michael Drake is said in, saying that he realized that it must embrace change to provide the best possible experience for college athletes. Speaking of the NCAA board, the move comes as the nation's largest governing body for college athletics faces increasing pressure from lawmakers across the country, intent on following California's lead, which has already done so, by dismantling compensation prohibitions that currently apply to more than 450,000, almost a half million NCAA athletes. Ohio State Athletic Director Gene Smith and Big East Conference Commissioner Val Ackerman, the leaders of the NCAA's Name, Image, and Likeliness Working Group, will present a progress report to the board at Emory University in Atlanta. It will likely be a key early step in the process that could take months or even years to work its way through the NCAA various layers. NCAA rules have long barred players from hiring agents, and the association has steadfastly refused to allow players to be paid by their schools with some exceptions. The California law would prevent athletes from losing their scholarships or being kicked off their teams for signing endorsement deals. The measure doesn't take effect until 2023, leaving time for the NCAA to take its own steps to even though other states are considering measures that could take effect even earlier. A possible place for the NCAA to start is allowing athletes to make money from non-athletic business opportunities, which is currently prohibited. A lot of opinion on that on both sides of the aisle. We'll see how it all pans out. When we come back, you'll have to see this story to believe it. On the heels of several other reports honoring and recognizing and referring to the lives of some of our veterans, we have another one for you, the first of its kind for this reporter, for this newspaper, and for a local funeral service director as well. I'll be right back.
After years of politics as usual, we now have an auditor that follows the data, Mike Harmon. Endorsed by Kentucky Right to Life, the NRA, and the Fraternal Order of Police, he's taken politics out of the office. Mike called out the state's pension systems for their lack of transparency, and Mike Harmon audited the CLEP Fund to ensure law enforcement and their families get the money they deserve. On November 5th, follow the data and vote for the best choice. Mike Harmon for auditor.
Getting the best deal on the best tires with the best service has never been easier. Just log on to ConleyTire.net, check out the latest rebates, sales, and promotions, pick out the tires you want, and email, call, or come by. For huge savings from the family who's been proudly serving the area for over 32 years. Conley Tire in Staffordsville, 297-2424. You're going to absolutely fall in love with all the new arrivals at the seasonal shop, from all the autumn colors and styles in ladies' designs, shoes and accessories, Charlie Page, Mud Pie, you know the name brands, to jewelry, Simply Southern, Natural Life, caps, cups, and more, to rooms of home decor. And all you'll need to decorate for the fall and Halloween seasons, plus everything from coffees to candles. But hurry, because everything Christmas is already arriving daily and will be out soon, and fall will be gone before you know it. At Frazier's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop in downtown Sayersville. From brakes, exhaust, suspension, fluid changes, to expert collision and auto body, to turning your 4x4 or diesel from mild to wild, get real auto maintenance, paint, and repair at Black Smoke Performance in Dixie of Sayersville. 349-8785. We have finally done it. After years and years of extensive testing, we not only invented the chicken sandwich, we have perfected the chicken sandwich. Come and try it and love it with a big, famous dipped breast strip, pickles and mayonnaise, or however you like it fixed. And if you like, make it a double. Just make your way to Lee's to get it, and grab a cookie while you're there. At your Sayersville Lee's Famous Recipe, where even our ice is famous. At Sayersville National Bank, they know your house is much more than your home. It's an investment, and for many of us, the biggest we'll ever make. And whether it's for needed repairs and maintenance, or a new addition or renovation to give you some more room and more equity, let Sayersville National Bank deal with all the financial work and worry. Real and real competitive, hometown, homegrown, home improvement loans at Sayersville National. Whether it's diabetes, arthritis, or injury causing you foot and ankle problems, or excruciating pain in your heel that's often easily treatable, Dr. Cheryl Cheney has over 21 years in group and private practice as one of the region's leading podiatrists, and she's now practicing right here in Sayersville. Dr. Cheryl Stalder Cheney is now seeing new patients, young and old, at Hope Family Podiatry Center in Sayersville, just next to the Lee's Famous Recipe. Call for an appointment today.
I'm Dr. Jason Zimmerman at Highlands ARH, the healthcare system of Appalachia.
A couple of things on our community calendar real quickly before we get to our top headline, and another headline before that as well. We do have information confirming for Eastern Kentucky fans of two very famous and becoming more so everyday Eastern Kentuckians that they will be performing together on a series of shows over parts of the United States. Two of them are set to be in Kentucky. I'm speaking about Sturgill Simpson and Tyler Childers, both of which a part of the Sturgill Simpson Good Looking Tour. Yeah, what a show this is going to be for a lot of Eastern Kentuckians to show their support for their fellow Eastern Kentuckians. You've got headliner Sturgill Simpson, a Breathitt County native. You've got Tyler Childers, of course, from Lawrence County, who went to the Paintsville High School, and you've got really no reason not to be a little bit in awe of the show and the tour that's making its way through Kentucky, actually on 2 different stops. Sturgill Simpson is hitting the road next year after just a small series of very special performances this year in support of the Special Forces Foundation. He has now announced a very exciting 35 and then some date tour starting next year called Sturgill Simpson, A Good Looking Tour. And it kicks off February the 21st in Birmingham, Alabama. It wraps up May the 24th in Kentucky. That show is at the Yum Center in Louisville. And in between that, he'll be stopping at Rupp Arena as well. And Tyler Childers, as well, is opening the shows. And you can look for a lot of fun and excitement from these two because they've worked well together for years. As a lot of fans know, Simpson actually produced both of Childers' albums, including the recently released Country Squire, which has thrust him onto the national stage even more so. The Lexington stop is very early on, February the 28th at Rupp Arena. And the duo will be making their stop around other parts of the United States as well, but Lexington, February the 28th, Louisville, May the 24th. Tickets available on Ticketmaster. Before I go on to the calendar, a couple of announcements. Otherwise, of course, trick-or-treat date here in Sayersville, Magafa County, as is Johnson County and Paintsville, still set for Thursday evening, 6 to 8. Prestonsburg has moved to Saturday, 6 to 8, and Morgan County moved theirs up to tonight from 6 to 8. Also, this weekend, the first ever of what they hope will be many Walnut Festivals in Royalton at the Half Mountain Recreational Area, the Civil War Park there at the mouth of Half Mountain. As we had friend and viewer Paul Bailey with us last night telling everyone, they have been putting together the Walnut Festival for quite some time. It is completely free and open to the public. Those who come and attend, those who come and want to set up a table where they can buy, sell, trade, absolutely pretty much anything under the sun, as you heard Paul describe yesterday. Several vendors already set to be on tap with arts, crafts, food, candies, antiques, guns, dogs, you name it, buy, sell, and trade. That's the idea. Set for this Saturday at the Civil War Park there underneath and around the shelter. It's set to start at 8 o'clock. They've got all sorts of local entertainment, food, concessions, and much more. Stop by and check it out and give them some thoughts on the Walnut Festival. Here are our thoughts on the rest of tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau community calendar. It might not feel like it, but it's time to start thinking about getting your child a Head Start. The Magafa County Head Start taking applications. Children who will be 3 or 4 by August the 1st are eligible, and it's not too late to sign your child up for Head Start. Call the Magafa County Head Start office at 349-3488. And while we'll have an updated Halloween forecast in just a few moments, a reminder you can visit the Gardner Farm, which is decorated all out for Halloween every evening after 4:30 through Halloween. That's the Gardner Farm on the top of the Ivy Point Hill. You're invited to bring the kids, bring the family, stop by and take a little Halloween tour. And be sure, of course, the schools bus many of the students, or most of the students, but you can bring the rest of your children by the Magafa County Health Department on Halloween, day after tomorrow, Thursday from 8:30 till 3:30 for their fun carnival games, for their haunted house tour, and all the treating and tricking that goes along with it. 8:30 till 3 at the Magafa County Health Department on this Halloween. And a quick reminder about the 6th Annual Veterans Appreciation Lunch at the Stumbo Wilkinson Center in Prestonsburg this Thursday, which is also Halloween, of course, 11 till 2. Contact Charlie at 606-789-3841 if you have any questions. The 6th Annual Veterans Appreciation Lunch. And contact me anytime you've got an announcement, birthday, anniversary, or otherwise, and we'll tell everyone about it. It can be one of the hardest parts of being a parent. You can beg them, bribe them, hold them down and try to force them, and sometimes you still can't get them to take their medicine. Well, problem solved at Parkway Pharmacy with Flavor X. Let your kids customize their medicine with some of the best flavors that really do taste great, and it's totally free with your child's prescription at Parkway Pharmacy. So stop the suffering, theirs and yours, for free, and get your Flavor X flavored medicines at Parkway Pharmacy in Salyersville.
SSI and disability cases are harder to win these days. You need all the help you can get. If the government has turned you down, I will not. Many factors are considered when a claim is being processed, like your age, education, physical, and mental disabling conditions. When it comes time to winning your disability case, you should not face a federal judge alone. You need an attorney who is experienced, determined, hardworking, knowledgeable, and dedicated to helping you win benefits that you deserve. If you need help with your SSI or disability case, call me, Donald Wayne McFarland, and let me go to work for you.
Right now, for pennies on the dollar, a huge selection of like-new laptop computers, a fresh stock of video games, the Cadillac of dog tracking and training systems, new hunting rifles, accessories, and ammo. And they always stock, buy, sell, and pawn gold and silver coins and jewelry with a new selection just in at Parkway Gun and Pawn in Sagersville, 349 Pawn. Over the course of the past couple of weeks here on Your News Today and in the Sagersville Independent, we've had the privilege and opportunity to share with you some very special stories in regards to some of our veterans. As of late, we spoke about, of course, the Whit brothers being memorialized just recently. The amazing story about these two local brothers who never returned home from World War II, one of which still entombed on the USS Arizona, the other who lost his life 4 years later fighting in the same war. Melvin Rudd, who was honored in South Korea, his children making the trip. What a wonderful story that was to be penned by Heather Oney, our editor in the Sagersville Independent. Skidmore Patrick, of course, being honored with the renaming, so to speak, of Cole Branch. And now we have a story for you that's going to be a few weeks in the making, and it's only going to be bigger from here, but tonight's announcement is certainly one that we want to share with you, and we'll be talking to a lot of other folks. There's a brother out there that is really just about all that is left of a family who waited pretty much their entire lives to get their son and brother back from the Korean War. Some of them, his parents, just didn't live that long, of course. Almost 70 years now since a Sagersville Marine was killed. His body has been officially identified and is coming home. I spoke with Paul Burchell today of the McGoffin County Funeral Home. We have been in touch with some other very special individuals related to this story. And with all of that, we have learned that Ray Palmer Fairchild of Mash Fork is returning home next month. We here at Mortimer Media Group were actually reached out to and contacted by a family member several days ago, telling us that the Department of Defense had been in contact with them, specifically their POW MIA accounting agency, telling the family, sadly, what is left of Marine Corps Private First Class Ray P. Fairchild's body about to be on its return trip home to Sagersville. 21-year-old Fairchild was killed during the Korean War and has now, almost 70 years later, been accounted for officially as of the end of July. Turning back the clocks, it was in late 1950 that Fairchild was a member of Company D, 2nd Battalion, 7th Marine Regiment, 1st Marine Division, and was killed in action on November the 27th of 1950 near the town of Unamni, North Korea. After the war, his remains couldn't be recovered. And then later in 1954, during Operation Glory, North Korea and the United States Command exchanged the remains of several casualties. One set of those remains was designated as unknown with essentially a number thereafter it, X13474. That was how Fairchild would be known or unknown for nearly 70 years, as his body could not be identified and was subsequently buried in the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific, known as the Punch Bowl for its large, round or oval shape in Honolulu. Then later, and much more recently, on May the 11th of 2012, at that point, I do not know as of right now if they had received new information or it was just a new process that they were employing, but we do confirm that the Joint Personnel Accounting Command disinterred X13474 and analyzed the remains after sending them to a laboratory where scientists used dental and other analysis as well as circumstantial and material evidence. Scientists from the Armed Forces Medical Examiner System that used mitochondrial DNA and autosomal DNA analysis to confirm the local Marine's identity.
I received a phone call from the deceased veteran's brother a couple weeks back, stating that the Defense Department had notified that they had identified his brother, Ray Palmer Fairchild. And in doing so, they had informed him that they'd need to contact a funeral home to provide the services in order to get him to the county he was from and do a proper burial.
Ray Palmer Fairchild of Mash Fork, who passed away at the Battle of Chosin Reservoir, North Korea, the son of the late John H. and Allie Prater Fairchild, and brother of the late Bonnie Fairchild Cantrell, will be coming home in just a few weeks. We do know that he is survived by a brother, John E. Fairchild of Portsmouth, Ohio. We also know Ray was a member of the First Baptist Church here in Sayersville. And we also know that service and military honors for Ray Palmer Fairchild will be conducted 1 o'clock Saturday, the 23rd, here locally from the Magoffin County Funeral Home.
Tentatively, his body is to be flown into the Lexington Bluegrass Airport. From there, they'll provide full military honors when arriving. From there, we'll transport him back to Magoffin County and get everything prepared for a viewing and a service in his honor that Saturday, November 23rd at 1 p.m.
You and I are going to have some more opportunities to talk a lot more about this, as this is just, like I said, just a bit of an intro to the whole story. But just briefly tonight, how rare of an opportunity and how much of an honorable opportunity is that?
Of course, we consider it an honor to be entrusted with any veteran that we may serve, or veteran's family that we may serve. This is very unique because this is stuff you grow up reading about in history books and seeing in other parts of the United States it's being done. And as for a small town like we are in county, it's definitely an honor and privilege.
Just a bit more about Fairchild's story. As I understand, he and a fellow soldier found themselves surrounded by thousands of North Korean troops. Fairchild was killed by a gunshot wound to the head, while the other soldier alongside him was shot multiple times, I think 4 times, played dead as the other troops left, and was recovered by the United States and their troops and lived and is still alive today, and at the age of 90 is planning to be here in Kentucky in Magoffin County next month. We have also spoke with Fairchild's brother, who is also making plans to be here, who says he is most definitely going to be here as well. That was a wonderful conversation that Heather had earlier today with Mr. Fairchild, and there is going to be a great deal more to be said about this entire situation and the service and the return home of a former Sagersville son. So we look forward to bringing you that in the coming days. With that said, let's wrap it up with tonight's Licking Valley RECC Outlook. The cold front that we have been waiting on, not so anxiously, is getting that much closer. And these 2 beautiful days that we've had to start off this work week are coming to an end. For the particulars, let's take a look at your Licking Valley RECC 7-day outlook. And it details just exactly what we're talking about. But tonight, not so much. 53 pretty nice, mild degrees, light winds, and mostly cloudy skies. A prelude of some showers and the first of that cold front for your Wednesday. Right now, the showers look to be mainly after 2 o'clock in the afternoon, once again topping out right around 70. We'll see winds rather calm, starting to move up to 5 miles per hour or so tomorrow and tomorrow night. Nothing that great as far as winds tomorrow. They pick up Thursday. But rainfall amounts between a half to 3/4 of an inch tomorrow and another half to 3/4 of an inch tomorrow night. Added up, we could see anywhere from 1 to 1.5 inches of rainfall, and that's just for your Wednesday. Pretty much the same scenario exists for your Halloween Thursday, up to another 1.5 inches. I think both days, or at least maybe in one of them, we won't see up to a full 1.5 inches, but we're talking about still the potential for a couple of inches of total rainfall over the course of your Wednesday and Halloween Thursday. Temperatures take a dive. Here's how it goes. It's down to from 70 tomorrow to 60 for Halloween. By Halloween at night, 34 degrees, and winds on your Thursday out of the west, 8 to maybe 29 or 30 miles per hour. Temperatures are going to hit about 66 on your Halloween Thursday, but then they're going to fall down to around 60 throughout the rest of the day. So topping out at around 11 o'clock Thursday morning at 66, and then back down to 60, and then all the way down to 34 for your nighttime low Halloween evening, with showers and winds certainly going to play a big factor on trick or treat. With that said, hopefully we will get out of here a little bit earlier than what we are expecting. For your Friday, I think it will finally clear up. A 10% chance of maybe some showers by 8. Otherwise, those mostly cloudy skies will be slowly becoming partly sunny. 48 though on your Friday. 29 Friday night, widespread frost, and then we'll go straight to early December. I mean, weather-wise, you know how we skip a month or two in one way or one direction or the other quite often here in Kentucky? Well, that's what we're doing again. So Saturday, widespread frost, 51 and 29 that night. Sunday, widespread frost, sunny, 47 and 30. Monday, widespread frost, sunny, 56 and 38. Tuesday, we should hit about 59, mostly sunny degrees. With the biggest thing that you need to take away from this page is the fact that we will fall back 1 hour Saturday night into your Sunday morning. That's right, it's time to turn those clocks back to the tune of an hour this weekend. That's going to be it for my time for this evening. We have a host of information and big stories for you starting as soon as tomorrow. A couple of important reports that we are already working on in-house and one to cover at least on tomorrow afternoon. So we hope to see you here for all of that and more next time. Good night, and thank you for watching.